Debt is a common thing. And of course, it's not just individual people that end up owing money. Many businesses actually rely on debt to succeed. But Activision is one giant company that's just admitted that its debt bill is a bit of a worry, actually.
Earlier this week, Activision-Blizzard released their 2017 investor report and it revealed some interesting financial information. According to the report, the company currently has a whopping $4.4 billion in long-term outstanding debt. The report mentions it is not unusual for large companies to have high amounts of debt, and the figure is actually down from last year's $5.9 billion in debt. I mean, it's alright then, isn't it? If it's gone down from 5.9 million.
4.4 billion? What are you worried about?
That's all it is. Pocket change. But crucially, Activision Blizzard say the debt burden could have important consequences in the future. And not only that, but the relevant section of the report is titled, "Our debt could negatively affect our business." I mean, that's refreshingly honest of
Frank.
them.
Yeah, good job.
The company in fact fears their massive debt might affect their chances of obtaining additional financing or funding in the future. The report also mentions Activision Blizzard's debt could increase their vulnerability to adverse economic conditions, and it limits its ability to adapt to changes in the industry.
So yes, it's not unusual for a big company to have loads of debt, but it is a little bit unusual for that kind of company to go, we've got a lot of debt and we're a little bit worried about it. So this is a kind of an early warning signal, I guess, that Activision Blizzard, despite being the absolute juggernaut that they are, is a little bit worried because of the $4.4 billion in debt that they owe.
I mean, there's only one solution, you know that, Mike, don't you? Microtransactions.
Oh.
Are they going to use this for justification for microtransactions? Probably. That's the only reason that I can think of why they're being so honest about it. You think of games like Call of Duty, right? And Blizzard, Overwatch. Yeah, there's so many huge games there. How are they in so much debt? How are they in so much debt? I mean, it's got to be the game development costs, right? Has to be that. It's nothing to do with the promotional costs and hiring out a big arena to promote World War II Call of Duty. Can't be anything to do with that, or the 50 billion or whatever money they spend on. It's not 50 billion, it's like 50 million, but they spend a lot of money in promotion is what I'm trying to say. F***ing hell. Sort your shit out.
The game sells itself, innit?
Yeah.
People will buy COD. Just tell them. I mean, they know it. They know the date. 3rd of November. They know that it's coming.
We get adverts for Call of Duty World War II down at the local co-op. You don't need that. They don't need to spend that money.
That's very funny if you know what the local co-op is. And elsewhere this week, Sony announced the lineup of PS Plus games for March 2018, and it is comfortably one of the best months we have ever had. Heading up the pack are 2 major PS4 exclusives, the 2016 remake of Ratchet & Clank, and the game that Mike and Jake won't stop talking about, Bloodborne. I did not write this. Bloodborne.
It's true though, it's true. They don't shut up about it.
This is great.
They announced this and I was like, f***ing hell. This is another 2 months worth of Bloodborne chat in the office.
It's just
Am I right?
The last 2 months have just died down.
They've only just petered off now and f***ing hell, it's back.
It's a good game. Now, these 2 games are joined by the PS3 offerings Legend of K and Mighty No. 9, as well as Vita offerings Claire Extended Cut and Bombing Busters. However, while this is pretty great news for PS4 owners who are getting 2 of the most acclaimed games on the console, PS3 and Vita owners haven't been so lucky. Why? Well, aside from the fact that one of this month's PS3 games is Mighty No. 9, Sony confirmed in the same announcement that starting from March the 8th, 2019, they will drop the free PS3 and Vita games from the service and offer only PS4 games instead. Sony said the monthly PS Plus games will focus on the PS4, and they will continue to offer 2 PS4 games per month after the changes go into effect. This means the total number of monthly games on PS Plus will drop from 6 free games to just 2. This is a bit of a stinker. I mean, it's not a huge surprise, I guess, as PS3 is pretty old now, but for people who own all 3 platforms, people who are just on PS3 maybe, they're going to lose out now, and that service which was giving 6 free games is suddenly just giving away 2. It's not like they've gone, we're taking this 4 away and we're going to give you a little extra freebie, so there's 3 coming on the PS4, maybe 2 major ones and 1 smaller one or something. There's none of that. So the service suddenly looks like, at least on paper, a lot less value.
It's one of them good day for bad news kind of thing, isn't it? Such good offerings on the PS4 this month. It's like everyone's saying, hey, this is great value, but in the secret, and they've just announced that in a year's time they're taking away 4 games per month. However, for those of you that are subscribed to the PS Plus and only specifically want PS4 games, you might find that the games increase in quality like this.
You'd hope
overall.
so. You'd hope so.
To just try and offset the money that they're losing from giving away the game. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but the games might be better overall.
No, definitely. You got a point. Like Bloodborne does feel like a bit of a Hail Mary. Like it's like, oh, Bloodborne, guys, it's good, isn't it? By the way, we're taking away 4 free games every month.
Also this week, Sony Interactive Entertainment announced PS4 exclusive Horizon Zero Dawn has now surpassed 7.6 million sales just 1 year after launch. That makes it the biggest selling new first-party IP on PS4 so far. Sean Layden, chairman of SIE Worldwide Studios, said, "The combination of beautiful storytelling and great characters with excellent gameplay mechanics has resonated well with fans and led to this exceptional sales milestone." Herman Holst, managing director and co-founder of Guerrilla Games, added, "We had huge ambition for Horizon Zero Dawn, and as we approached the launch, we knew people were excited, but to see sales of this volume is truly mind-blowing."
It is impressive. It's only on one platform, 7.6 million for a new IP. It's great. It was a great game. I think the review scores would have helped a lot with that. Sony were confident beforehand, gave reviewers copies early, and they were also saying confident things like, oh, trust us, Aloy is going to be like a new Sony mascot. They were saying that like about a month or two before the game even came out. So they knew they had a hit on their hands, and it's sold really, really well. And I like Horizon Zero Dawn, so I am happy about that.
It's great that this has happened. Did you know why, Mike?
Why?
Because we're Sony fanboys. No, it's not because we're Sony fanboys. It's because one, I'm getting to a real point here, honestly. Because one, it's a single-player game, right? Single-player games are dead, says EA. Tell that to Aloy. For two, there's no loot boxes in this game. It's a great example of how to do a game right in my eyes. 3, it's a new IP, Microsoft. You know, pull your fingers out your arses. It's a great example of all the good things in my eyes about the gaming industry right now. There's a lot of doom and gloom, a lot of shit happening. This has done well.
And this week, Sega launched a demo for the upcoming Yakuza 6 The Song of Life, which is due out on April the 17th. The demo was uploaded to the PlayStation Network in Europe and Australia, but the US demo was a little bit different because it was actually the full game. Apparently the demo is a trial version of the full game and was meant to let people play up until a certain point in the story before the trial comes to an end. In the European and Australian versions, once players reach the end point, the game informs them that the trial is over, but progress will carry over into the full game if they want to buy it. But the US version let players carry on past the trial's endpoint. Some users became suspicious when they started unlocking trophies which they thought was unusual for a demo. Several hours after it went live, Sega realised their mistake and pulled the trial from PSN. In a tweet, the company said, "We apologise but have had to remove the Yakuza 6 The Song of Life demo from the PlayStation Store. We are as upset as you are and had hoped to have this demo available for everyone today. We have discovered that some were able to use the demo to unlock the full game." This is kind of a side effect of when back in the day, they used to make a tailor-made demo. They would have designers, developers working just on the demo and put that out. What they do now is just chop off some of the game, and sometimes they make you download the entire game's install files or whatever, as has happened here, because players could keep playing beyond the end of the demo, and it's really more of a trial. It's gone wrong here and people were just playing it for free, which do they get to keep it now? I mean, that's the result for them now, isn't it?
Yeah, if you disconnect your internet, we're speculating about it in the office. Do they get to play it indefinitely if nobody knows that they've got it? It's definitely a better way to do demos because it doesn't take out additional resources in order to do a very specific demo part of the game. So you can just focus on making the game and not just different versions for different people or whatever. Gone wrong this time, so good luck if you can get it. And finally in the news, dedicated Halo fans managed to break into an inaccessible room in Halo Reach after only 7 years of trying. There is a room featured in the 9th level of Halo Reach's story campaign which is only ever seen during a cutscene. And for 7 years, Halo fans have been trying to figure out how to get into this room during normal gameplay. Halo trick group Termatius Tricosity, which apparently is a real thing, were the first set of players to find the room using the game's theatre mode, and they decided they just had to get into the room. According to group member Aaron Sakala, the game is programmed to make sure players couldn't reach this room through normal means. Get it? Couldn't reach. Nice.
That's what the game was called.
So the group spent 7 years examining every inch of the game, learning all its quirks and exploiting the game's mechanics just to get into this one room. In January 2018, the group finally managed it through a series of elaborate tricks which involved lining up a bunch of vehicles to use as floating platforms. When asked why the group spent so long trying to get into the room, Sakala said, "That's what drives us and keeps our interest. That drive to knock out the remaining challenges. No matter how long it gets, they just needed to reach, didn't they? They just had to reach it."
No matter how long it takes us.
7 years did.
No kidding.
I mean, 7 years? I mean, do they not have life? They don't have jobs? Maybe that's why it took so long.
You'd really hope that they were playing other stuff at the time. Maybe they got together once every 6 months or something. And, you know, I hope it was something like that. I hope also that it was a good room. I hope that you got in there
worth it.
And you were like, this room is the best room. I don't know why they chopped, you know, they sealed all this off. Probably because it was a shit room. That might be the reason why you couldn't get in there.
Yeah, because it wasn't worth going
to see. But, you know, well done. That's what an
congratulations.
achievement.
Well, I mean, dude, should we clap or?
Good job.
Yeah, that thumbs up feels good.
So there you go, a selection of gaming news from the last week. What caught your eye in the headlines? Let us know what it was down in the comments. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this every single day. Now there's another video right there which you could watch right now if you want, and a link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. See you next time.